Good afternoon. I'm Suzanne Mudge, Executive Director for Youth Music Monterey, and we're delighted you have joined us today for our second virtual concert. Just over a year ago, the pandemic locked down most everything we loved about our lives: school, sports, friends, visiting family members, meeting friends for dinner, hugging, concerts, so much more, and our YMM orchestra rehearsals. But all of you here today decided to stay with YMM this year to make music and learn more about it, to improve your skills on your instrument, even though we rehearsed very strangely via Zoom. Most of you continued with lessons as well, via Zoom or in person on your back decks outside. I'd like to give a shout out and big thanks to our young musicians, their families, and the teachers for hanging in there. I especially want to congratulate the students performing here today for their perseverance, flexibility, determination, and enthusiasm for keeping the music playing no matter what. We have loved working with you and admire your toughness, all with happy faces and a few silly jokes along the way. You are the future, and I'm so proud to know that our future is in great shape because of all of you. Enjoy the concert.
How do you take the material that you record on the stage, meaning at Air Studios or Abbey Road, and then turn that into an interactive score? Essentially, two major things happen. One is when we do our recording, we try to do sections in isolation so that there's no bleed. So when we record, it's not, even though we might have like an 80 or 90 piece orchestra, at the end of the day, we don't record 80 or 90 pieces together. We generally will record the strings separately, record the brass separately, percussion separately. And the reason why we do that is that when we are mixing all of the music, we have clear separation between these families of instruments and the solo instruments. And the reason why we do that is because the music that actually you hear in the video game is kind of like a DJ remix of the score. So things like this happen, like, okay, let's say I'm a player and I go through a door and there's gonna be some action that's happening there. We may program it, or script it is what it's really called, in such a way where you go through the door and you just hear the percussion. And then maybe you turn the corner and you sort of confronted with, a big fiery dragon or something like that. Then we're going to sort of bring in the brass and bring in all the strings.
Nice. You were making it sound like, oh, I'm gonna do so bad. No, that was actually quite good. I was looking at your bow, and you're playing these notes from like a vertical angle. You're doing dum bum 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 bum. Think do 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 do. Think horizontal. So what I want you to do is get away from the frog.
Get away.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot more. A lot more. Keep going. Keep going.
Like,
yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Sorry. So the bow, you have the bow, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're playing really close to your hand.
So you want me to play more out here?
Yeah, absolutely. I want you to play more out there. I feel like it'll be easier to play more horizontal there.
Okay, I think I can do it.
That was better. No, that was better.
Here's a really interesting question: is what is our advice for young musicians like us playing in a youth orchestra in 2021?
Yes.
What are some of our best memories, early string quartet or youth orchestra?
My experience in the Philadelphia Youth Orchestra actually helped me know I wanted to go into music, because just being surrounded by like 100 people just like playing with such passion, the most amazing music, the Brahms Fourth Symphony, Rachmaninoff's Second Symphony, Verdi Requiem, just the most amazing music that could ever exist, just so like passionately, because it was everybody's first time. Just being surrounded by that sonic passion just convinced me that there's no better feeling.
Does it ever feel tiring to play so much? How do you stay motivated to practice and maintain interest in your instrument? That's a really good question, and I think that this is something that we all definitely struggle with. I think for me, it's knowing that there's always something that I can do to better myself. That there's something that you can improve on, that you're, investigating, that you're, discovering something new. I mean, that's what drives me.
Beautiful job, Sophia. So you don't want to focus on the pedal points, even though they are the culprit in making it difficult to play. But we need the lightness again to come into play with we want to hear that. Okay?
Good afternoon and welcome to our second concert of this pandemic season. I'm so glad you joined us today and I hope you will enjoy the concert. We have once again put a lot of effort into creating this event for you and our young musicians. While you watch the concert, I encourage you to leave a little comment below the video, as I'm sure that everybody who was involved in this concert would appreciate a personal comment from you. Let us briefly talk about Tchaikovsky's Capriccio Italien. Italy was one of Tchaikovsky's favorite travel destinations. Once he had begun to make a name for himself, he frequently escaped Moscow's harsh winters for its sunnier climate. It was during his third visit to Rome during the winter of 1879 that he was inspired to compose his Capriccio Italien during the height of Carnival. While in Rome, Tchaikovsky wrote to his friend and patron, "I have already completed the sketches for an Italian fantasia on folk tunes for which I believe a good fortune may be predicted. It will be effective thanks to the delightful tunes which I have succeeded in assembling partly from anthologies, partly from my own ears in the streets." Without further ado, please welcome our Junior Youth Orchestra. Our next piece is the overture to Beethoven's only opera, Fidelio. In it, Leonore is disguised as a prison guard called Fidelio. She rescues her husband Florestan from death in a political prison. Fidelio is an example of a rescue opera, a type of opera which was popular at the time. The hero has to fight against cruel people in order to rescue a lover. It was written at the time of the French Revolution. At this time, ideas about freedom and peace were being talked about by everyone, and this led to wars all over Europe. The famous Prisoner's Chorus is a song for freedom, just like the last movement of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony. Please give it up for the Honors Orchestra.
Good afternoon. My name is Dorothy Micheletti, and on behalf of the board staff and student musicians of Youth Music Monterey, I'd like to welcome you to our second virtual concert of the season. Thank you for joining us today. This year has been unique in so many ways. The virtual season has presented its challenges, but it has also afforded us the very special opportunity to introduce our current students to many of our alumni. It is quite meaningful to see these connections made, and today's concert results from some of these activities. We were also able to use this time to launch a legacy program in order to build our endowment, to give people the opportunity to support Youth Music Monterey into the future. This particular season has greatly demonstrated the importance of this type of giving. If you would find it meaningful to join us as a founding member of our legacy program, we encourage you to visit our website or call us for information on how you can create a gift that keeps music alive for generations to come. I want to thank you for your feedback after our last concert. Today, we choose to present via YouTube as it affords better sound quality. Although it will not permit us to visit at the end of the performance, we appreciate your comments and encouragements and hope you enjoy today's music. Finally, I want to thank our musicians, past and present, their families, YMM board and staff, our donors, and you, our wonderful audience members. The future of music is bright because of your dedication, talent, care, and effort. Stay well, and we look forward to when we can meet again in person.
Our last piece is a collaboration between both orchestras. And since we had our guest Peter Scoturo from Sony Entertainment give a wonderful talk about his music in Ghost of Tsushima, I thought it would be an excellent idea for our students to find out what it's like to play a soundtrack from a video game. What you're about to hear is the music from the video game Advent Rising, a space opera. So, enter your spaceship, take a seat, buckle up, press that engine button, and we will see you on the other side of the galaxy.